Hey guys, so Spider-Man recently came out, and it is a great game, allowing you to do anything you believe that Spider-Man can do, but you can do for yourself now. So you can be Spider-Man and do all the cool tricks and everything that he can do. It's really fun, really contender for Game of the Year, honestly. But in this video, we're going to talk about which skills to get first in order to be best at the game. So there's 3 skill trees, the Innovator, Defender, and Webslinger, and you have to spend skill points in each of those trees in order to unlock the skills below it. So honestly, you should get the first 3 at the top before you get any of the other bottom skills, because the first 3 are primarily what you're going to be using, and it allows you to unlock every single skill below it. So in the Innovator line, there's Web Throw, which allows you to hold triangle and grab and throw webbed and electrified enemies. This allows you to grab any webbed enemy that you webbed yourself, or electrified enemies, which is very useful, and it's probably the skill you're going to be using every single time in fights. This is the most basic skill to get first. Then we have Perfect Dodge as a defender skill, which allows you to evade an enemy's attack if you time it just right. So when your spider senses are tingling, that's when you know to dodge. This is useful for evading damage, so you can live and fight for longer. And finally, in the Webslinger, the first skill is Swing Kick. Hold square in the air to swing kick into enemies. Since you're going to be jumping around in the air anyway, this is pretty useful. And you can knock people away, maybe off the buildings, or just away from you so you can get a breath of fresh air. So after you get the 3 top skills in each of the trees, you should be looking to see what skill you should get next, and personally, Hazard Zone is pretty good in my opinion. So it says Web Throw knocks enemies down during windup. So there are a lot of objects in the map that you can use to your advantage. So you're going to be spending a lot of time tossing around barrels and other debris at your enemies, but throwing objects while on the ground leaves you vulnerable to attacks. So Hazard Zone allows you to get some room between your enemies since they're knocked down. And then you can web them while they're on the ground, so they will be cocooned in the web. The next skill is called Air Marshal, which is in the Webslinger tree, and it says air attacks deal more damage and generate more focus. And being that you're always in the air, and aerial attacks are some of the best moves you can do, it lets you do more damage and gain more focus while attacking in the air. So with this Air Marshal skill, you won't really need to leave the air since you can use your Swing Kick or Air Launch to set up enemies, then web strike into them and knock them into the air too. Next is Perfect Hit, which is in the Defender skill tree. Press square just as an attack lands to generate more focus. So this takes a little bit of time to get used to, as you have to press square at the exact moment. But once you get the hang of it, gaining focus is really good for Spider-Man, as focus is important both for healing and for takedowns. So as long as you aren't mashing the buttons furiously, just like spamming whatever, if you can time it well, this is a very good skill. Next is Yanking Throw, which is in the Innovator tree. There are some prerequisites to the skill, but try to get this one as fast as you can, as you can hold triangle to hurl yanked weapons back at enemies with excessive force. So once you disarm them, that's already great because they can't fire at you. But now you can nab their weapons so they can't pick them back up, and then hit them onto their faces with their own weapon. So now they can't fire at you, their weapons are broken, and you just smacked them with their own weapon, which is already disgraceful enough. Next we have Payback, which is in the Defender skill tree. Press triangle after perfectly dodging range attacks to an instant takedown. Now instant takedowns are good in any sense, and this is pretty far down in the skill tree, but getting Payback will allow you to take anyone with a pistol or rifle out of the fight instantly. All you have to do is perfectly dodge a ranged attack, but once you get the hang of dodging, this isn't that hard to do, especially with other skills. So Payback is pretty much a necessary skill to defeating enemies quickly in large mobs or even solo. Finally, there is Long Strike, which increases the damage and range of Web Strike. So Web Strike lets you close the gap between your enemies and lets you get close enough to punch them and stuff. So Long Strike makes it so that you can do this even further away and increases the damage too. So with this skill, you can get the snipers and enemies with rocket launchers before they can even fire at you. And you can also perform Web Strike stealth takedowns at greater range. So overall, Long Strike is a pretty great skill to have in your arsenal. So those are some basic skills to get you started. What you do next after all these skills is up to you and your playstyle. It depends how you play, but these skills are pretty basic and necessary to have, in my opinion, if you're going to play the game and try to beat it. This will make your life a lot easier. So suggest your favorite skills down below and how you liking Spider-Man so far. Alright, thank you guys for watching.